On February 7th, 2010, during the Super Bowl, Snickers launched its You're Not You When You're Hungry campaign with the airing of this short 30-second ad. I'll play the ad now.
Where's your deal, man? Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day. You're playing like Betty White out there. That's not what your girlfriend said. Katie. Eat a Snickers. Better? I'm all bet. I heard. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
So, the advertisement made use of a solid amount of rhetoric in order to make it a very effective commercial. Um, First, we're going to cover pathos. So, the commercial just makes a solid use of pathos through its obvious appeal to emotion. The main character is transformed from an old lady, which in this case is Betty White, in order to a young, fit man simply because his single bite from the Snickers bar tasted really good and was very filling. This is clearly expressed by his change in facial expression and his confident statement of better, which appeals and makes the chocolate bar look like it tastes good. It also causes an association in the viewer's perception between Snickers and positivity. The inclusion of Betty White in the commercial also does a good job of appealing to ethos and making the commercial stand out a lot more. Her career before this commercial has been going on for a very long time. She's actually been acting since the 1930s, and her presence in the commercial makes it stand out to the many people who know her, which is really important for a product such as Snickers, which is an impulse product that a lot of people will only really buy if they specifically think of it when also presented with a lot of other options at the same time. Even for those who don't know Betty, however, the commercial still does a good job of being appealing just because of its comedy. So, the audience of this commercial was targeted mostly towards young men and football players, given that it was a football game that was going on in the commercial. Um, it also broadens to include more people, however. The main focus was on the idea of the male pack, and that all males try to fit into the pack. So, what the commercial is saying is that changes in your attitude as a result of hunger exclude you from the pack, and so by eating a Snickers bar and not being hungry anymore, you'll be brought back to normal and fit in with your pack afterwards, which in this case was Mike's team. In the commercial, it portrayed Mike's girlfriend giving him his Snickers bar to kind of represent that also women have the role in maintaining the male pack. And even for those who don't fit into the categories of young men or young women, they can still enjoy and remember the commercial, like I said earlier, which is very important. So, was the commercial effective? I would argue that it definitely was. It was presented during the Super Bowl, first of all, which is when, a third of America is watching, and the audience is going to be mostly young football fans who are in the target audience. It was very, very successful, as we saw afterwards. It generated 400 million media impressions with a media value 11 times their initial investment in the commercial. It topped USA Today's Super Bowl ad meter and nowadays even shows up as one of the best Super Bowl ads of all time on a Google search. Um, the campaign starting with this ad, which lasted for many years afterwards and had many follow up commercials, also won every major effectiveness award, including, I believe, global and local Effies and AME awards, and 2 effectiveness lines, which are very large awards to get.